The following is a slightly historical series on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era of China's history. Because this is based off of a video game, and myself playing it, there will be a lot of incorrect information that we will correct using the help of Wikipedia. For those of you who want to learn more about Dynasty Warriors, or the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era, I suggest reading the book. Please enjoy the following presentation.
Cao Ren! Cao Cao's second cousin. A veteran of many battles, he has served Cao Cao faithfully for many years. Although not fond of fighting, he hopes to end the chaos. His big moments were usually castle defenses, which is why he's depicted as a dude with a giant shield sword as a weapon. And that is kind of what makes him cool.
Cao Ren.
Alright, Cao Ren, there you go. Born in the year 168 and died May 6th, 223. Courtesy name, Zhijiao. Cao Ren was the younger second cousin of Cao Cao. His grandfather, Cao Bao, and father, Cao Qi, served the government of the Eastern Han Dynasty. He had a younger full brother, Cao Chun, as their father died while they were still young. Cao Ren and Cao Chun lived with another family. They inherited their family fortune when they became older. They were known for being wealthy and having hundreds of servants and retainers. As a youth, Cao Ren was fond of horse riding, archery, and hunting. When chaos broke out in China towards the end of the Han Dynasty, Cao Ren rallied a militia of over 1,000 men and they wandered around the region near the Huai and Si rivers. Cao Ren and his followers eventually joined Cao Cao around 190 when the latter was raising an army to join the campaign against Dong Zhuo. Cao Ren held the rank of a major of separate command under Cao Cao, but was actually an acting sharp-edge colonel. I don't know what that means, but let's just jump right in as Cao Ren.
I am Cao Ren. I consider my enemy to be none other than chaos itself. I shall do whatever it takes in order to protect this land and its inhabitants. Our army is currently retreating after losing the battle at Chibi. It was our arrogance, the false confidence in our numbers that caused our defeat. This shall not happen.
So that's really weird, because Cao Ren was incredibly involved in a lot of battles. And I guess in the sense that, you know, much earlier episode like Zhu Shu or even Zhao Yun, the first episode we did, those guys were involved in many battles across the entirety of the chaos. For those earlier examples like Zhu Shu from the Wei as well, we did a lot of the earlier battles and ended in the middle. I guess for Cao Ren, we're gonna start in the middle and kind of play out the finish, even though we know when he dies. I assume in the video game he's gonna live past that. But he was involved in the campaign against Dong Zhuo, which is where I thought we were gonna start, but it seems like we're not gonna do that. After that, there were many campaigns in central China. Basically, all of the warring Cao Cao did, Cao Ren was there between the years 190 and 200 when that begun the campaign against Yuan Shao. The Battle of Guan Yu, Yuan sent Liu Bei with an army to support the rebellions against Cao Cao in Jinjiang, roughly 8 kilometers south of the capital. Cao Cao became worried about such developments in the territories under his control, so he sent Cao Ren to suppress the uprisings. Cao Ren observed that the rebels dared to create trouble because they had Liu Bei's support, but the men under Liu were newly recruited and inexperienced, so it was not difficult to defeat them. Cao Ren targeted the rebel chief Liu Pi and killed him in battle, and subsequently defeated Liu Bei as well. Yuan Shao attempted to cut off Cao Cao's route to the west by sending Han Meng southwest. Cao Ren responded to the threat by defeating Han Meng at Julo Hill. Yuan Shao became afraid and did not dare send out his troops. Cao Ren and Shi Huan later led a force to attack a convoy transporting supplies to Yuan Shao's camp. After Cao Cao's victory at Guan Yu, Cao Ren continued to join Cao Cao against Yuan Shao's heir in the northeastern part of China. After that were the Battle of Jiangling and the campaigns in northwest China. So, after losing at the Battle of Red Cliff, Cao Cao retreated north and left Cao Ren and Zhu Huang to defend Jiangling Commandery from the advances of Sun Quan's forces, which were led by Zhou Yu. So we are starting right here where this is still a major battle for Cao Ren, so I really like that. Like I just mentioned, and like we will see in this first battle, Cao Cao is running away after the Battle of Chirbi, and we are left behind to hold off the hordes, as it is. Cao Ren was serving as acting general who attacks the south. Zhou Yu dispatched a several thousand-strong vanguard to challenge Cao Cao's forces at Jiangling. Cao Ren was aware that his army morale was low since they were recently defeated at Red Cliffs, so he ordered his subordinate Niu Jian to lead 300 volunteers into battle, in the hope that they would display bravery and boost the morale. Niu Jian and his men were heavily outnumbered and surrounded by the enemy. Cao Ren's chief clerk, Chen Jiao, turned pale when he saw the situation from the top of the city walls. However, unlike what everyone thought, Niu Jian managed to create havoc around the Wu's army with just 100 men left. Cao Ren experienced a surge of fury and courage after watching how Niu Jian, with so little men, could make the entire Wu army 3 times the strength, get so tired battling just 300 of his own men. So he ordered every troop in the city to go to battle. Chen Jiao and the others attempted to dissuade him from braving danger, but Cao Ren ignored them, and every soldier in his command was ordered to charge into the enemy formation. Cao Ren successfully rescued Niu Jian and his surviving men, and even turned back to save his own remaining soldiers who were still trapped in the enemy formation.
Now we must do our best to not let our lord be captured. If that were to happen, the chaos would only become worse. I must protect my lord at all costs.
Liu Bei and Sun Quan. How could I lose to them at Chibi? I shall never forget this humiliation that I have suffered at their hands. I must take action to try to recover from this defeat. We can escape to safety. I will eventually have my revenge. Cao Ren, I need you to clear an escape route for me. I shall rise again from the flames here at Chibi. I refuse to die until I have been able to realize my ambitions and create a new era under my rule. We barely managed to escape. This battle all came about because of my carelessness. We should be happy that we escaped with our lives. We almost didn't. We shall have our vengeance for this defeat. We must quickly build up our military strength and crush Liu Bei and Sun Quan. They shall pay for incurring my wrath.
Our lord immediately began rebuilding the kingdom after the loss at Chibi. His efforts paid off as we discouraged attacks from both Liu Bei and Sun Quan.
Sun Quan's forces retreated. When Cao Ren returned, his subordinates exclaimed, "General, you're truly a man from heaven!" The troops were awed by Cao Ren's bravery, and Cao Cao was very impressed when he heard about this incident. Cao Ren's marquis title was changed to Marquis of Anping Village.
As a result, the land stood divided amongst our lord, Liu Bei, and Sun Quan. The era known as the Three Kingdoms had begun. Our lord created his kingdom in an effort to bring an end to the chaos. I shall assist him in his goal by defeating all those who oppose him.
Cao Ren, you did a fine job establishing an escape route for me. I am only here because of your valiant efforts. I thank you. I'm going to have you engage the Wu army at Hefei. Defenses there are weak. I ask that you hold out until I arrive with reinforcements.
Alright, so we're skipping to a battle that Cao Ren actually wasn't at. After the escape from Chirby, around 211, Cao Ren participated in the campaign against Ma Chao and Han Sui in the Battle of Tong Pass, which we could have done here, so I don't know why they're giving us He Fei. Cao Ren held the appointment of acting general who stabilizes the west and commanded the defense at Tong Pass before Cao Cao reached the front line. And then a little bit after that, Subo and Tianyin rebelled in 212, and Cao Ren was appointed acting general of Valiant Cavalry, and he led 7 armies to attack the rebels and defeated them. After that, he definitely does not take place in He Fei. If we do remember from the Zhang Fei episode, or not Zhang Fei, the Zhang Liao episode, let's see. Battle of He Fei was actually in the year 208, right after, or rather, was during the Red Cliffs campaign. And this battle was famously the one where Zhang Liao and the other elite generals of Wei defend against Sun Quan's forces that outnumber them 40-1. Baptized in fire. But yeah, we know that Cao Ren is not actually at this battle. Although, timeline-wise, we could still do the Battle of Tong Pass, so we'll see.
There are several bases located throughout the area. Use them to attack and cripple the enemy formation. We shall turn the tide with this battle.
The Wu fleet is advancing north and will soon arrive here at He Fei.
The enemy outnumbers us greatly. It is too dangerous to risk an attack.
Victory in battle is not won through superior numbers. Guan Yu, Chibi, remember them well. I, Zhang Liao, shall crush all those who oppose me.
Just a correction, because I was reading off of the Wikipedia. The Battle of He Fei that I was looking at is not this Battle of He Fei. Apparently there are a lot of those. But this was the Battle of Xiaoyao Ford, which happened between 214 and 215, so after the Battle of Tong Pass, like I mentioned. Yeah, there's a Battle of He Fei in 208, which was around the same time as the Battle of Chirby. The Battle of Xiaoyao Ford, which is also known as the Battle of He Fei, between 214 and 215. And then 4 more battles of He Fei in between 231 and 253. So lots of blood around this area of China. But that just a small correction on my part. And again, Cao Ren was not here. Which is, again, it calls into question what the video game does and wants to do, because, like I said, Cao Ren is in a lot of battles. Why are they putting him in a battle that he wasn't at? It doesn't make sense. I will at least say, in terms of the video game's writing, I do like the idea of establishing Cao Ren as the defense guy. So, okay, he was defending Cao Cao after the Battle of Chirby. Now he's defending at the Battle of Xiaoyao Ford. And again, although Cao Ren wasn't there, I like the idea that the game is setting him up as the guy that they rely on for defenses. Because it really is the Battle of Fan Castle that is probably the most famous under Cao Ren's,
Damn it! I can't hold up!
put it, oh.
You know, there's one kind of person I just can't get along with. And that's people like you. People that take pleasure in fighting.
Oh! And what is that wicked-looking thing you're carrying for? Sewing?
Silence! I shall break that contemptible blade of yours.
He's got you there, boy. Like, I understand what the video game is trying to do because it is a video game. It doesn't have to be 100% historically accurate. But I would.
So bad. See ya.
Enemy officer defeated.
I would appreciate it if they actually put these guys in battle. Like, again, Cao Ren has a very long resume of battles, from the yellow turbans all the way up to his death, you know? So, like, there really was no reason to put him in this battle that he was simply not at, when we could have had other battles. Like, we could have led, well, not even the yellow turbans, the battle of Shishui Gate. They could have had him there, or they could have had him at you know, Battle of Tong Pass, which he was definitely there for. So, like, I don't really understand why we're at the Battle of Xiaoyao Ford when he was not there.
Just because we're
A smaller force defeating a much larger army. That is the beauty of strategy. Wu must have thought they would win that battle, and are surely disappointed. We probably won't be hearing from them for a while. Now we must turn our attention to Liu Bei. We won't be able to do anything until we've allowed some time for our current wounds to heal.
The Battle of Hefei ended in victory for Wei, but the struggle between us, Wu and Shu, continues with no sign of letting up. Amongst it all, Guan Yu of Shu has come to attack me and Jing. His skills as a warrior are legendary. The oncoming battle will no doubt be a struggle. Lord Cao Cao has entrusted me with the defense of Fan Castle and its men. I must protect them at all costs for the sake of my lord.
Cao Ren was reappointed as general who attacks the south and was ordered to garrison at Fan, also known as Fancheng, and oversee Cao Cao's forces in Jing province. After suppressing a rebellion by Ho Yin in Wan between late 218 and early 219, Cao Ren was officially commissioned as general who attacks the south, and he continued to garrison at Fan. In autumn of 219, Liu Bei's general... You got ice cream? Where'd that come from? We've had ice cream? I thought the kids ate it all.
Well, you made me think that we had some.
Ah, okay. Anyway, in the autumn of 219, Liu Bei's general Guan Yu, who was in charge of Liu's territories in southern Jing, led an army north to attack Fan Castle. Cao Cao sent the general Yu Jin to lead 7 armies to resist Guan Yu, but the armies were destroyed in a flood when the Han River overflowed due to heavy rains. Yu Jin surrendered to Guan Yu, while his subordinate Pang De refused and was executed by Guan. Cao Ren was left with a few thousand troops to defend Fan Castle. Guan Yu and his forces sailed towards Fan on boats and besieged the forces. By then, Cao Ren and his troops had been completely isolated inside Fan Castle as they had lost contact with the outside, while their supplies were running out and there were no reinforcements in sight. Cao Ren encouraged his men to fight to the death, and they were inspired by his words.
Cao Ren shall serve as the commander for this battle at Fan Castle. I can only hope that he can fulfill his duties for our lord, who is far away in Shu Chang. The enemy commander is Guan Yu. He is likely to try and use the rain in his attack against us. Focus on holding your position and striking only when the time is right. Cao Ren, you are the master of Fan Castle. I'm confident that your strong defense and unwavering might will lead us to total victory.
So now, Wu is begging for our help. So they fear Guan Yu that much. Guan Yu, this time, nobody can stop us. Not even you.
Here I am, everyone. Xu Huang has arrived.
By the time reinforcements led by Xu Huang arrived, the water level had subsided slightly. While Xu Huang was attacking Guan Yu, Cao Ren seized the opportunity to counterattack and break the siege. Guan Yu failed to conquer Fan Castle, so he retreated.
Thanks to everybody, we were able to successfully defend Fan Castle. However, I must say that I was quite impressed with Guan Yu's last efforts, even though he was the enemy. This time, Wu was our ally, but eventually, the day will come when we must face them as well. Until then, turmoil and chaos shall continue to plague the land.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cao Ren.
What awaited me after the victory at Fan Castle was our Lord's death. My Lord, how I wish you could have lived to see the day when your kingdom will rule all.
Cao Cao died in 220 and was succeeded as King of Wei by Cao Pi. Later that year, Cao Pi, with the support of all the officials, made Emperor Jian to pass the throne to him, putting an end to the Han Dynasty and establishing the state of Cao Wei, the strongest of the three kingdoms. Cao Ren was appointed as General of Chariots and Cavalry, and was placed in charge of military affairs in Jing, Yang, and Yi provinces. He also received the title Marquis of Chen, and was given 2,000 more taxable households in his Marquis state, making it a total of 3,500 households. Cao Ren would then move to Wan in northern Jing and garrison there.
In the midst of our mourning, we accepted Lord Cao Pi as our ruler and took the necessary steps towards rebuilding our kingdom. I must continue fighting until the chaos has ended. The next battle will take place in Wei's home territory of Chen Kang. I shall be the shield that protects Wei from its attackers.
Cao Ren, your performance here will serve as a model for us all. However, Xu is still showing signs of resistance and is trying to attack us from the road at Chen Kang.
So this does skip much further into the future. So after moving to Wan, Sun Quan would send Chen Shao to attack Xiangyang. Emperor Wen, Cao Pi, ordered Cao Ren to lead an army to Xiangyang to resist the forces. Cao Ren and Xu Huang defeated Chen Shao and their forces entered Xiangyang. Cao Ren had the general Gao Qian oversee the relocation of civilians from the southern bank of the Han River to the north. Emperor Wen appointed Cao Ren as general-in-chief. Later, Emperor Wen ordered Cao Ren to move to Linying and promoted him to Grand Marshal. Cao Ren was placed in charge of the armies along the Wu River, and he garrisoned in Hefei. In 222, Cao Ren led several tens of thousands of men to assail Sun Quan's garrison at Ruzhou, where the defending general Xu Huan had only 5,000 troops remaining inside the city walls. However, Cao Ren was deemed only as an inferior commander by Xu Huan and his colleagues, so the defenders put up a staunch defense. Even though Cao Ren had a complete numerical advantage, the battle concluded with Xu Huan as the victor. Cao Ren lost not only over 1,000 men, but also two of his subordinates, Chang Diao and Wang Shuang. He would then die on the 6th of May, 223 at the age of 56. He was posthumously granted the title Marquis Zhang, which literally means Royal Marquis. He was best remembered for his bravery and courage, which placed him above Zhang Liao among all of Cao Cao's generals. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be getting into these later battles where he's not actually at the Siege of Chen Kong, being in 228 during the Northern Expeditions. And this is where I'm going to say again, I'm a little frustrated at how the story kind of shook out, because Cao Ren was involved in a lot of battles, but they put him in battles where he was not around for and was dead for. And so what should have happened was they start off with the Battle of Sishui Gate, the Battle of Guan Yu, then do the opening battle, the escape from Chirbi. Then after that, you could do the Battle of Tong Pass, and then finish it with the Battle of Fong Castle. But instead, we do the Battle of Zhaoyao Ford, Hefei in this game that he wasn't at, and now we're gonna be doing at least 2 battles that he was dead for. So it's a little confusing why they would do this.
And is protected by our newly built castle. Let us take this opportunity to test its capabilities in battle. I would like for you to defend the East Gate and destroy any enemy contraptions you see outside. I'm depending on you.
Just a little disappointing that this is how they would want to tell the story when as far from what it should be.
No matter who or what opposes me, my army comes out victorious. The Shu army will not try to approach Chen Kang Castle again. Should we attack the already weakened Shu, or should we aim higher and try to finish off Wu? Our next move will be an important one. But whichever we choose, I already know the result.
The end of the chaos is near. We received word that Wu was defeated at the Battle of Hefei as we repelled Shu from Chenkang. All we must do now is eliminate Shu, who are approaching the Wujiang Plains. The enemy appears anxious to attack, but I must remain calm and carry out my duties. The fighting has lasted much longer than expected, but with this battle, the chaos will come to an end. I shall fight for peace so that a new future can be born.
Zhuge Liang, why are you in such a hurry? Why send all of your forces to the Wujiang Plains so soon after your defeat at Chenkang? Perhaps he is dying. If this is so, we must act upon this opportunity immediately. All we need to do is solidify our defenses and wait for the enemy to exhaust themselves. Cao Ren, you are Wei's greatest line of defense. If anyone can withstand the full force of Shu's impending attack, it is you. May your efforts today bring an end to the chaos.
They just keep coming, rambling on about virtue. I can't put up with this much longer.
Yes, but it won't last. Soon Zhuge Liang will perish, and Shu will fall.
And when they do, the land is ours, and the chaos will finally come to an end. Everyone, you must not lose hope. In this battle, victory will be ours.
Except Cao Ren was not at this battle because he was already dead.
So Zhuge Liang has finally died. Cao Ren, your actions were most impressive. It is clear that you detest the chaos of this land and desire to bring an end to it.
It's too late, he's already dead by this point, Sima Yi.
You need not worry. With the Battle of Wujiang Plains, the greatest power within the land was decided. The world at peace of which you dream is close at hand.
It was during the final days of the year 200 AD when the Han Dynasty saw its end. Its demise ushered in a new era of chaos, brought on by several regional lords vying to rule China. There were those who sought absolute power, as well as those who fought for justice, and some simply fought for the sake of their beliefs. Many would rise and fall in their attempts to dominate the land. Cao Ren was Cao Cao's cousin and was known as a rough young man who found joy in training in the martial arts and hunting. However, he later changed his ways and dedicated his life to ending the chaos.
Go away, Toby. No, go away.
Cao Ren was one of the first to volunteer and serve in Cao Cao's army. He demonstrated his excellent abilities as a leader and accompanied Cao Cao on all of his important campaigns, partaking in the most difficult of missions. When Cao Cao's forces were defeated at the Battle of Chi-Bi, Cao Ren fought and protected his cousin from the pursuing Wu army. Moved by his courageous efforts, Cao Cao's confidence in Cao Ren increased. Soon after being appointed as General of the South and placed in charge of defending Fan Castle, Cao Ren was attacked by Guan Yu. With the castle surrounded and morale dropping, Cao Ren encouraged his men to keep fighting and defended the castle successfully. When Cao Cao died of illness and his heir Cao Pi became the new ruler, Cao Ren continued to serve Wei. Undaunted by the enemy attack during the fight against Shu, his valiant efforts would contribute to their victory. Due to Cao Ren's valor, the chaos finally came to an end. His leadership and prudence led the Wei Emperor Cao Pi to say, "All officers should follow General Cao Ren's example." These tales, long forgotten in the flows of time, are about the legends of which no one can recall.
And that is the story of Cao Ren. Like I said, he was supposed to die before those last two battles we covered, and I am very disappointed that we didn't start with actual battles that he was in, and that we skipped actual battles that are in this game that he is in. But either way, I think we were able to tell the story of Cao Ren pretty appropriately.
It is finally over. Everyone, lower your weapons and live in peace. This is the time to tend to your fields and to hold your families close. May the land and its people enjoy endless prosperity.